Last time, on Ace Attorney, Edgeworth used Gumshoe for slave labor.
Strange. Why did I just picture Detective Gumshoe? Detective, I need a case file. But pal, I'm in the middle of an investigation here. I mean, we got a murder case. I said get me that case file, Detective. Right, sir, don't cut my salary again, please. I already have. No!
Hello everyone, and welcome back to Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Now, while I was editing the last video, I was running through my head the different scenarios, trying to figure out what the hell this thing could be. And also, quick thing, I got something incredibly wrong. For some reason, I thought that the police station and the prosecutor's office were right next door to each other. I got that completely wrong. They're really far apart, which actually in the and then I checked back to the intro cutscene we saw for this case, and yes, the two buildings where the shit happens are indeed very far apart. So yeah, that was my bad. Other than that, I am still completely clueless about this case. I mean, we know that there's some shit that went down 2 years ago on December the 2nd, I think, or February the 12th, one of the two. I don't remember what order it was in. But I remember that there was a case that it was Edgeworth's first case, which he undertook under the guidance of Prosecutor Skye, and that the leading detective for that case was the Goodman guy, the guy that got murdered, and that is very likely that is also the case that got Officer Marshall demoted from detective to patrol officer. So this seems very similar to Turnabout Goodbyes in that sense, right? That there's something going on here, like some sort of conspiracy, and some of the people in the prosecution are in on the whole thing, and that the truth of that case is going to be quintessential to figuring out what the fuck happened here. And I'm still going strong on my conspiracy theory, right? Because that whole mess about the cases, plus the fact that they didn't put Gumshoe on the case, even though, okay, so Edgeworth is prosecuting, and every single case that Edgeworth is prosecuted, as far as we know, Gumshoe's been on the case. They're like kind of partners, right? When, Gumshoe is Edgeworth's detective. Yet they assigned this case to Detective Marshall, who is not even a detective, for some ungodly reason, and have been keeping Gumshoe in the dark. Not only that, but they had some sort of secret-ass meeting with the police department head, as well as various other high-level prosecuting guys, and it seems like Edgeworth is being forced to prosecute this against his will. And then there's the Blue Badger that is somehow involved in this case for some reason. This is just bizarre. But I don't know. I'm done rambling. Let's just get going. See how this goes, because shit, I'm clueless right now. How did the investigation go yesterday, Mr. Wright? Frankly, there's still a lot of gray areas. Or rather, the whole thing is a big gray area. Don't worry about me. No matter the outcome, I'm ready to accept my fate. I believe in you, sis. Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice. Yes? A defense attorney should never believe their client. Huh? The defendant is called to trial because they are suspected of wrongdoing. Never forget that. Miss Skye, you remind me a lot of Mia. But there's one decisive difference between you and her. And that is, you're not a defense attorney. I believe it's almost time for the trial. Also, that last sprite of hers where she was like, gasping, basically a Mia sprite. Damn it. Good luck, Mr. Wright. God damn it. My first trial without a Fae helping me. No one's gonna bail me out this time. Emma might. I'll be alone in there. So I have to discover the truth all by myself. Let's do it, Mr. Wright. I'll be with you the whole way. Yeah. Maybe you'll make yourself more useful than Maya. Alright, here we go.
The court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky.
The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Edgeworth. It's been 2 months, but I haven't been in a courtroom since his trial. I hope that personal feelings will not be a part of the proceedings today, Mr. Wright. I will choose the path I think is right, regardless of what those around me might say. Yeah. And that's honestly what I love about Edgeworth. He doesn't give a shit what anyone else says. He just does what he thinks this is right. I mean, like in the Turnabout Sisters, when Red White basically had everyone in his pocket. You know, the police officers, Lana Sky, who sent fucking Gumshoe to arrest me. The judge. But Edgeworth didn't take a single shred of shit from him. I love this man. The judgment will be made here in our hands, not those of anyone else.
Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. Your opening statement, please.
Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she was rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor's office lot. Allegedly, bitch! Wow, he's much more forceful in person. I suddenly feel like confessing to everything. However, she will now pay for her rashness with her life. There was a witness to her crime. A professional witness.
Well then, call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth.
The prosecution calls its first witness, Miss Angel Star, to the stand. The cough-up queen. Let's make her cough up the truth, then.
Haven't I seen you somewhere?
Ah, you ordered the caviar lunch, right?
Oh ho ho! Caviar? I've never eaten caviar before! Can you put it in a sandwich?
Oh, the judge is really wolfing it down. Ah, and for you, I have the Fiesta Bowl. Thanks? Will the witness state her name and profession? Ah, and you, sir. Did you order the fingerprint lunchbox? It is too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please. Well, Your Honor, how does it taste?
So this is why everyone raves about caviar! It's so tasty it hurts! I always thought caviar would taste like pickled tapioca!
What the heck does pickled tapioca taste like? Name, profession, now! Me? The name's Angel Star. Don't go forgetting it. I find myself running Lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth? Very well, witness. Please describe the incident to us.
The prosecution will wait. I'm not finished eating!
Hurry it up!
Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. As you know, we usually call on the police to describe a description of the crime.
Your Honor, as Mr. Edgeworth has said to the court, I am a professional.
What exactly does that mean?
Until 2 years ago, Miss Angel Star was a special investigator with the God! Fuck you! 2 years ago! That goddamn case keeps getting brought up! Fuck! 2 years ago. I assume you had something to do with that there, December 2nd case that got that there done Goodman fired, didn't ya? Or not fired, fuck, Marshall, not Goodman, Marshall got demoted, fuck. This whole case is fucking my brain up, okay? I'm sorry. So she was a first-rate homicide detective. So how the fuck does this one case tie literally everyone together? Jesus! What? Miss Starr was the detective? Aha! I know who you are! Cough up! Cough up Queen, Angel Starr, Your Honor. Long time no see. Very well. You may continue your description, Miss Starr. Just who is this lady? If I might have the court's attention over here. The parking lot of the prosecutor's office is divided into 2 blocks. The A block is for the prosecutor's office personnel. The B block is for visitors and clients. A chain divider separates the 2 blocks. I suppose that's to keep the visitors from taking up the prosecutor's spaces, yes? Oh, that was the fucking judge speaking. The crime scene took place by a car, in the back of the A block, in the car's trunk. The killer stabbed the victim with this knife and went to drive the body out. Unfortunately for her, there was a witness and an arrest was made on the spot. And who was this valiant witness? Why, it was me, Your Honor. Parking lot floor plans, that's gotta come in handy. Witness, did you see the very moment of your crime? Of course, Your Honor. Immediately after that, I apprehended the chief prosecutor. It seems rather cut and dry, doesn't it? Well, Mr. Wright? I can't agree on principle, Your Honor. It seems that some poor losers are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honor. Shall I proceed to crush what little hope they have remaining? If you can, then give them your worst, Miss Starr. Wait, are they talking about me? Oh, no. Phoenix, witness's account. Poor Phoenix, he can't catch a break. Somehow, I always knew a day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend when I sensed something. Perhaps it was my finely honed detective's intuition at work. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. Okay. Couple of things. So she was on the other side of the fence. That would imply that she was on the B block, correct? And we also don't really see Goodman. I mean, there's no reason to believe that that is indeed Goodman, and not just some mannequin or something. Or hell, it might be his dead body already. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. Bringing a lunchbox to your boyfriend, how touching! As you can see, there is no room for doubt. The key point of your testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of the knife which you saw being stabbed into Detective Goodman. So, how does it feel to be so utterly crushed? I'm still coming to terms with that. It is merely a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. I don't wanna. She's too good. But we'll make her cough up the truth. Alright, let's press her ass. That came out wrong. Okay. How did you know? I respect the prosecutors' basic abhorrence of crime, yet their methods are ugly and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy. The lunch lady's uninformed opinion is duly noted, given that they are used to erasing inconvenient evidence at their whim. killing of a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that. Miss Starr, do you have something personal against prosecutors? I felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator, and if I hadn't been laid off by those prosecutors over there, I'd still be one. Alright, so her laying off has something to do with why she hates prosecutors. Interesting. Laid off? She was fired. To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. And that said, I am a pro, as you know. My testimony is unbiased and flawless.
Very well. You may continue, Miss Starr.
I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend. This, boyfriend, he's a detective? Not that boyfriend, the security guard.
That boyfriend? You have several?
Yes, this boyfriend, that boyfriend, and the other boyfriend. Care to join? Care to join the being stepped on by Miss Starr? Cloud.
Oh, yes, Miss Starr! Please step on me!
The yet another boyfriend position is still open for applicants.
I'll stick with the lunches, thanks.
Note to self, the judge had to think before applying. I'll give you this one, Emma. You're so much funnier than Maya. The security guard room is in the lot. In the A block. It's up on the second level, and you can see everything from there. That would be the room with the security sign. Incidentally, did you bring your lunch boxes by car? Since I'm a visitor now, I parked in the B block. So she was in the B block when she witnessed the crime. When I sensed something, perhaps it was my finely honed detective's intuition at work. You sensed something, so you're saying you had a premonition of the murder? It felt like, how would you say? Oh yes. It was like the feeling you get when you view a pumpkin chock full of seeds.
I have no idea what that means.
Speaking of detective's intuition, wasn't the victim Mr. Bruce Goodman also a detective? Yes, well, he was like a young cheese.
Young cheese?
A pale, white cheese, not yet tangy with experience on the streets. A greenhorn.
Then I must be hard!
Judge! That's not appropriate for a court environment! Jesus! Oh no!
Yellowed and sharp as a tack!
Yeah, with the odor of an old cheese to match. In any case, there is the lot. There, in the lot, I felt something staring in the back of my mind. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. I'll have you know, my car is not garish. By garish car, you mean... Mr. Edgeworth's car, yes.
Mr. Edgeworth's!
Incidentally, the knife with which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edgeworth's, wasn't it? Indeed it was. Though I have no idea what garish car you're referring to.
What an odd case this is! And the person you saw, are you sure it was the defendant?
I saw her from no further than 30 feet away. I'm certain it was her. If she's telling the truth, we're doomed. Let's just do what we can. Even if we don't have proof, we can always nitpick. Witness, in your testimony, you clearly stated the following. Prosecutors are nothing more than worms. Ergo, you are a biased witness. You might want to keep those silly opinions to yourself in the future, rookie. Huh? Rookie? I'll have you know. I have won every single case I have been in. I defeated Edgeworth when his track record was undefeated, even though he forged the evidence and the judge was in the true criminal's pocket. And I ended Von Karma's 50-year-long perfect guilty streak. So who are you? Call it a rookie! Oh, I can't wait to drag you through the mud! Unless you're willing to risk the consequences of doubting me. I'll fry you like a fritter. Crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside. That was inspiring. Please step on me. I believe I heard that tagline elsewhere. You could try plagiarism. I may be relected to the lowly post of lunch lady, but my instincts are honed. A photograph? You took this? Yeah, see, the thing is, though, this is not conclusive evidence that she stabbed Goodman. The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over and snap. I took a picture. In fact, one of my lunchboxes is rigged with a camera! I still can't get over how cute her face is in that lunchbox. I suppose that's more exciting than just hanging it around your neck. Witness, why am I only seeing this photograph just now? You think I'd show it to you, a prosecutor? Think again. Huh. My boyfriend works in the photography division of the criminal affairs. Well, this is most certainly the defendant! Or it could be me as Ghost. I'm told they look alike. Uh-oh, that is unmistakably Lana Skye. So, what was the defense doing at the time? Defendant, I mean. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Then, she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. Alright. Tell me more about this knife the suspect was carrying. Well, I'd say the blade was about 4 inches long. Is that right, Mr. Edgeworth? It is your knife, after all. Yes, that is about right. Prosecutors are, by nature, well versed in the location of a man's vital organs. I'm sure it was easier than boiling an egg for my egg salad surprise set. You can't testify as to her ability to kill an egg, you mean a person? Perhaps a chicken salad set would have been a better metaphor. So the defendant was holding a knife. What then? Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. Tell the court why you didn't try to stop this crime. You did see her raise the knife to strike, no? The defense has a point! Unfortunately, by the time I realized what was going on, it was already too late. Too late? Yes. The next moment, the chief prosecutor brought down the murder weapon. I see. It is only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it. You said that before. Anything else? Scientifically speaking, Miss Starr's testimony is flawless. Yeah, that sounds pretty fatal to me. What do we do? Is this it? Is my sister guilty? Let's try to keep our heads cool and press the witness a bit, shall we? For some reason, having her panicking next to me makes me calmer. But don't smile like that! Oh, shit! Angel Star, you have sealed your own grave! Take a look at this! If we take a look at the court record real quick. Now, you'll notice here that she says, through the wire. Oh. Fuck. I thought the wire fence wasn't visible in the picture. So, alright, I was wrong. My obvious contradiction has been thrown out of the window. What else is new? Another case, another misinterpretation of the evidence, right? Damn it! Holding a knife in her right... Oh! Is the picture is she holding it in her left hand in the picture? Hold on 1 second. Damn it! It doesn't show us! I thought that may have been it. I mean, the fact that it says on her right hand, it feels weird. I mean, fuck it, let's try it. The fact
The specification of the right hand is the only thing I can think of.
Objection!
Oh, I guess that's it. And you witnessed this? You saw Miss Sky stab the victim with the knife.
As I've already said, yes. I swear it on my finest salmon swirl lunch.
I'm sure that is a fine lunch. But isn't that odd? Look at this photograph. This is the photograph you took of the very moment of the crime, isn't it? Ah, right. That would imply that she waited until the body was fully stuffed in the car and the murder weapon was put down before taking the picture, which is interesting. Oh, yeah, that never actually crossed my mind. I was going for a completely different approach. I was like, well, she's closing it with her left hand. Maybe she's left-handed. Fuck. Love a game where I can arrive at the right conclusion through the completely wrong process. Jesus Christ. Then why is Miss Sky not holding a knife? Ahem! Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Objection. He didn't even yeah, there it is! That had to be the weakest objection I've ever heard, Edgeworth. Sorry, Wright, I've got a cold today. The doctor said I shouldn't shout. Oh, good for you! Yet, it was still stronger than your ever-feeble mind, Mr. Wright. Oh, what do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photograph was not taken the moment before the stabbing. This was taken the moment after the stabbing. And how can you tell that?
Blood splatter. Huh? See the dark crimson stains on the chief prosecutor's coat?
But it's a black and white photograph. Ah, yes, it's hard to tell, but this could be blood. Well, Mr. Wright, I see no problem here. No problem? Except you? Mr. Wright, are you just gonna sit here and take that kind of abuse? You got a better idea? Fuck it. Always object. Wait, that contradicts what the witness said in her testimony. Namely, that she took the photograph the moment she witnessed the crime.
Well, it seems I was slightly unclear. My apologies.
Huh? That's it?
If you run out of lunch, you order seconds. Problem solved.
If you don't like it, try ordering the jumbo-sized lunch from the get-go. Good advice. I'm not sure I understood it, but good advice.
I didn't have time to stop her. Prosecutor Sky was cold, calculating, like a robot. She killed without pain or remorse. It was a premeditated murder.
Premeditated? How do you know? Look at the chief prosecutor's hands in that photograph. Well, are those gloves? Surgical gloves made of thin rubber, most likely. Why would she have those on? 'Cause it's cold? If it was not premeditated, she would not be wearing those gloves. What? Maybe it was just cold. You don't know. Those gloves do seem to tell a tale of premeditation.
Premeditated murder. A serious offense.
Witness, add this to your testimony.
The murder was planned. Those rubber gloves prove it.
Right. What do you have to say about that? What if she was just in the habit of wearing gloves, like driving gloves? The gloves were admitted as evidence when the defendant was arrested. They were rubber gloves of the kind used for autopsies.
In other words, when the chief prosecutor came to the crime scene, she came to murder. It is the only possible conclusion one can make. Everything was planned. It was a premeditated crime.
Ah! Impressive! I'm sorry. They took you off the force, Miss Starr. This is bad. She's got them thinking this was all planned. If she can prove this claim, the trial is already over. No. You're wrong, right? It was all planned. At least I think. But for a very different reason. I've got to think of a way to show that this wasn't premeditated. It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it. You said that before. Anything else? Well, scientifically speaking, Miss Stark's testimony is flawless. Oh, we already heard this. I don't like this. She's too good. I guess that's why they call her the cough-up queen. Jesus. Yeah, that's right. The fact that she used a weapon that was at the scene of the crime proves that it wasn't premeditated. Witness, do you know what this is? Are you trying to test me? I sell lunch boxes for a living, you know. That's a knife. The knife. The knife that was in Mr. Edgeworth's trunk. And in the victim's chest. Indeed, it is my knife. What's with this case? The bloody murder weapon, a red guy, all belonging to the prosecutor there. The defense is the chief prosecutor for the district, right?
Mommy, are prosecutors bad people?
The defense has a request. We ask that the witness provide an accurate testimony. What's that, rookie? In your testimony, you stated that Lana Skye planned this murder, and that's why she was wearing those special gloves. That seems like a natural conclusion to me. Those gloves do indicate planning. However, why would she not also prepare the most important thing, the murder weapon? Oh, she's shaking. Nice, we got her shook. That's always a good sign. This knife just happened to be in the trunk of that car. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're gonna plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon. Woo! What the fuck? Order! Great, now the tide is turning in our favor. Great show, Mr. Wright. My sister's as good as free. Right. I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is humble pie. What? Are you into puns now? I hope you weren't deluding yourself to thinking the tide has turned. Not over such a trifling detail. But this shoots a hole in the whole premeditated theory. Bah. The prosecution could care less if this is premeditated or not. The only one who seems to care is that lunch lady over there. The defendant, Lana Skye, murdered a detective with this knife. That is the only thing the prosecution needs to prove, nothing else. Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now. But you know as well as I do that she planned on killing him. It was planned. If it wasn't, why would she have been wearing... I believe I'd like to hear your testimony again. Witness, please testify. Please tell us what you saw, not what you thought. How dare you? My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated. Really? Now? Angel's deduction. Or, in the case of the judge, seduction. Lana Skye intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's what she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could drive that human killing machine to plunge the knife again and again. The victim was summoned from the police department to the prosecutor's office. It does sound a lot like premeditation, doesn't it? So, if I ordered pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy? Emma, I love you. In any case, the defense may cross-examine the witness. Emma, for the next game, can you stay instead of Maya, please? Okay, let me just check something. Aha! One knife wound! Objection! Angel Star. As a lunch lady, I would expect you know the difference between a single and a combo order. Yeah, take that. I can make lunch jokes too. Take that, Edgeworth. That was quite frankly pathetic and makes me want to die. But you couldn't have witnessed that.
Are you testing me? Then I'll test you. With my moss surprise.
I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Miss Star.
Huh?
What do you mean? I should not have to explain this, but take a look. Oh! Edgeworth is backing me up here? He must really not like her. Jesus! The autopsy report states that death was due to a loss of blood from one stab wound.
Actually, good! It means he's not updating the autopsy report.
Oh, thank God! For a second there, I thought he was going to be like, right, you absolute fool. Didn't you hear?
The untainted autopsy report!
Oh, God, thank God that's not the case. Aha! You're right! Good show, Mr. Edgeworth!
What a hunk! He's my hero, really!
What about my objection? No one noticed? Well witnessed!
You got the crime scene set, right?
Oh, thanks!
I always believed that no one can mistake ketchup for blood, but now I realize that such mistakes are possible.
So, you're saying you mistook something for blood?
When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood at her breast. Splattered blood from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice.
Then tell us what you saw that you thought was blood. Testify.
Her red muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole scene was.
Yeah, I ain't buying it. Her red muffler?
Yes, like a scarf, the chief prosecutor always wears one around her neck. So she can be easily hanged at a moment's notice, I suppose.
She's right. Miss Sky was wearing a red scarf, wasn't she? But wait, isn't it odd that you mistook that for splattered blood? Well, people often mistake my beard for a bib. A judge with a bib. That's why this place feels so much like kindergarten sometimes.
Actually, I do think I saw some traces of blood on her chest.
However, the autopsy report is clear on this matter. There was only one knife wound, and this time it's not updated. Apparently, Miss Starr isn't entirely sure of her own testimony. Mr. Wright, this is our chance. Chance for what, I wonder? Miss Starr has turned out to be as short-tempered as she looked when we met her. Challenging her abilities as a detective really set her off. The short wick burns out the fastest. It's a scientific fact. I wonder, wouldn't it depend on the size of the candle? I mean, add more wax and even a really short wick would burn longer. Obviously, more scientific testing is required. Oh. She's not wearing the scarf. Angel Star, in your confusion, you've dug your own grave. Thanks for giving us the... Objection! The Star, I demand an explanation. The witness is clearly not suited for detective work. Oh, Edgeworth! Jesus! He's pulling out no stops this time around, is he? But yes, thanks for that photograph, Miss Star. You sealed your own grave. Oh, what? The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim. And you've proven it yourself with this photograph. I think I just had an orgasm. God, I forgot how good it feels when Edgeworth works on my side. Jesus Christ, we need to do this more often, man. True, right? Huh? But that can't be. Only a professional lunch lady could be this utterly clueless. Congratulations. Perhaps you'd finally found your true calling in life. Harsh words, but good.
In the end, Mr. Edgeworth prevails.
Oh, that's my objection. Top chopped liver.
But there, a scarf. No, something red. Really?
Well, now, where were we? The witness has given us an entertaining interlude, but back to business. What?
Very well, witness. Continue your testimony. You saw the crime and apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that.
Very well. I do remember some things accurately, at least. Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony. The most important part. The part where your sister stabs the victim. Hey, she didn't stab her! This next testimony might just be the moment of the truth. Shit. Alright, it looks like this trial is probably drawing to a close. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to the side. I quickly caught her and explained her rights, then arrested her on the spot. Did you forget about the floor plan, you fucking idiot? Whatever. Yes. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. The chief prosecutor made an escape, but against Angel's star, resistance is futile.
You are quite determined about this scarf, aren't you?
I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. That's me, Angel Star, the Cobra Queen. That, wasn't a very good kind. First of all, a cobra is a kind of snake.
Don't bother with details unless you want to get bitten.
No thanks! Please, don't bit me, mistress. Note to self, Mr. Wright is weak against poisonous snake bites. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. An oil drum? Hard to imagine. Oh, she's beautiful but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Rawr.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, if you will, before I come, please.
You've sealed your own fate for the second time. How pathetic! You say quickly, you were close to the suspect? As I just said, I was only 30 feet away from her the whole time. Maybe we should press for more details. I like to see this on the floor plans, just to be safe. Lunchland car was... She was a visitor, thus she parked in the B block. So you witnessed the murder from here.
That would make it about 30 feet from the car, yes?
Is that correct, Miss Star? Yes, that's right. She's figured out her mistake, hasn't she?
But there was a chain link fence in front of you.
I went over it, of course.
Amazing! The Coffer Queen! Lunch lady athlete indeed!
It would have taken her time to climb over that fence, but she couldn't have gotten to my sister that fast. Yeah, that fence was about 9 feet high, too. So how did Miss Sky not get away? She mentioned the muffler? What exactly did she say? If I remember exactly, I would have told you in my testimony. Cheeky. Anyway, all I heard her say was the word muffler.
Just that one word!
So, what you heard wasn't a suspect talking to you, but someone else. Yes, the chief prosecutor was talking on her phone. Her phone? She can't mean... By phone, do you mean this cell phone discovered at the crime scene? Yes, ultimately. Ultimately? My memory... It's like a salmon, heading upstream, you see?
No, the court doesn't see, Miss Star. Please, I would like it if the court stopped insulting my vision every single case.
The chief prosecutor's first attempt was to use the phone hanging on the wall.
On the wall?
That's right. Near the car, there was an emergency phone on the wall. Apparently, it was out of order.
And so she used her cell phone?
Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day.
Good witnessing, witness.
Good witnessing? Whatever happened to good testifying?
You should, of course, add this to your testimony.
The things I do to please the rookie defense attorney. Ha!
I saw it all. How she tried to use the phone on the wall, but had to use her cell instead. Do you think you could restate your testimony for the court?
Aha! I was going to ask the same thing!
I'll only say this one time, so listen closely, rookies.
Oh, she had an S in there? Shit, she's throwing shade at Edgeworth now.
The chief prosecutor stabbed the victim, ran behind the partition. Then she picked up the emergency phone in the wall, but it was out of order. Then she pulled her own cell phone out of her pocket.
And during the time, you climbed over the chain-link fence!
And then, when I boldly grabbed her arm, the chief prosecutor hung up her phone.
And you saw her doing this?
What is it, Mr. Wright? Chief prosecutor made an escape, but against Angel Star, resistance is futile.
She made to escape. Can you be more specific?
She brushed aside my hand and ran. It was a terrible sight to see.
Like a dollop of lard and a pate of foie gras.
Huh? She even kicked over an oil drum at me.
An oil drum. There was an oil drum blowing on its side at the scene of the crime.
But it is strange.
What's that?
If she wanted to escape, why didn't she run the other way?
The other way? Ah! The parking lot entrance.
That's right! It doesn't make any sense that she would run from behind the partition to the oil drums. Excellent. More mysteries.
Yeah, I wish we could solve a few before finding more, though.
So, Miss Sky tried to run. Honestly, though, more mysteries is a good thing because it shakes up the prosecutor's case. I'm sorry my sister is so suspicious, Mr. Wright.
Not as sorry as I am.
But she didn't do it. You have to believe me.
Shit, I have no idea what to do here.
Objection!
Shit! We failed. She even looks like Mia from behind. Jesus. What the fuck am I supposed to do there? Like, seriously. Alright, we're back to this, cross-examination. Now. So, when we do this, we obtain a new part of the testimony. So this must be what we're trying to contradict. But with what?
Wait, but you wouldn't be able to see it thanks to the floor plan, right?
Objection!
Because the wall. Miss Star, I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Miss Lana Scott.
Objection!
The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarred by personal bias. Well, who would have thought that you would be my knight in shining armor, prosecutor? You, who together with the chief prosecutor kicked me out 2 years ago.
Yep, it was definitely that case.
Well, Miss Star, this is a fatal contradiction with your testimony.
How do you explain this?
Huh. I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me, and I'll make you cough it all up!
Let's look at the floor plans, Cough Up Queen. You said you witnessed the crime from this point. However, that's true. You couldn't possibly have seen Miss Sky making that phone call. I believe you see what I'm getting at. The emergency phone was on the backside of this partition. If indeed you were in Block B, you couldn't have seen it.
What?
Order! What is the meaning of this?
It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch. She's coughing up lies.
Objection!
That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you will allow me a question.
Tell you exactly what lie this witness has told the court. Here's where the counterattack begins. I can't afford to get this wrong. The witness has lied about what she saw, where she saw it, the order of events. Okay. It has to be where she saw it, right? Miss Sky tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order. What is significant about this fact? Nothing. Therefore, it would be pointless for Miss Star to lie about it. Pointless to lie, I see! But say the witness did actually see Miss Sky using the emergency phone. It would mean Miss Star witnessed the crime from a different location. A different location? Now that's a pointless lie if I ever heard one. Before you call my lie pointless, at least let me tell it. Let me ask a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime? All the testimony you've heard up till now points in one direction. The place where Miss Star witnessed the crime, the security room. Right? This is the only place where she could have been. The security guard room? Indeed, the security room in the underground parking lot is well positioned. It is built on the second floor so you can see the entire lot. She would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. But why there? There are many other places she could have seen the phone. Not in this case, Your Honor. The witness, not being part of the prosecutor's office, couldn't park in Block A. The only place where she could have seen the crime and the back of the partition is here. I remember in your testimony you said you bought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security room, yes? Well, Miss Star, yeah, but that doesn't really explain the photo, does it? How many years have I been getting the better of men? To think that the tables could be turned. Today a man has gotten the better of Angel Star. Order! Order! Witness! What have you done? You used to be a detective. You should know better. I'm not turning back. The guilt will be punished. The guilty will be punished, sorry. And I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails. The guilty. She talking about Miss Sky? Mr. Wright, doesn't this strike you as odd? Why did Miss Star lie? It doesn't make sense. Huh. She could have just said she saw the crime from the security guard station. It wouldn't change anything. Exactly. This photograph tells all. It is the defendant who stabbed the victim. The truth still stands. It still stands? I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth. What? If a witness is found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury. She knows this. She wouldn't risk that without a good reason. So, tell us that reason, Mr. Wright. Huh? Me? Who else? Mr. Wright, let's review what we know. Miss Star witnessed the crime from the security guard station. But she lied and said she saw it from Block B. It must make a vital difference, but what would that change? The angle of the view. Right. She likely wouldn't be able to clearly see what happened. Why the angle at which the crime... she saw the crime occur would change. Sorry, I didn't read that. The angle? What do you mean? Well, security guard station is on the second floor. And, she would have sort of had a more 3D view of the crime. And this is important. Why? Perhaps you'd like to reconsider, Mr. Wright. Shit. I thought that had to be it, right? The distance, right? It changes the distance between her and the scene of the crime. My condolences, Mr. Wright, but one look at the floor plans and it's quite clear. The distance between the scene of the crime and the guard station is 30 feet. I don't see how that would change what she could see. What she saw is not in question here. What matters is the time it would take her to reach the scene of the crime.
Miss Starr, you witnessed the crime from the security guard station. Now, how long did it take you to go from there to the scene of the crime where you arrested Miss Sky?
Well, witness!
You. Yes? You ordered the squid wheels, right? The quality of my lunches has gone down to an edible. Honestly, I'll take the squid over the fucking moss balls. Jesus. I was bringing a PB&J lunch with fresh boysenberry jam to my boyfriend.
Boysenberry for the boyfriend. I'd like some of that.
He wasn't in the station, so I waited. I witnessed the crime from the glass-walled station. And before I knew what I was doing, I found myself running towards the scene. But the door was locked. I couldn't open it. Jesus! That's why I had to go through the visitors' parking in the B block.
Ah, that's quite a detour.
That's when she took the picture, but it must have been significantly after she saw the crime take place. It probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime.
5 minutes? This changes things considerably.
But it was that woman over the defendant's chair who stabbed him. I know it. I have photographic evidence. I swear it. I swear it on my finest plastic spork.
You have a point, and the spork is a wonderful invention.
Would you like another caviar lunch?
Absolutely!
Uh-oh. Mr. Wright, you have to do something. Do I have any evidence to stop this?
Objection!
Of course I do. 5 minutes between the witnessing of the murder and the arrest? Think about it. You can make pasta in that amount of time. If you like it, al dente. I've got lunch boxes that tie pasta into knots, rookie. A 5-minute blank? Isn't that strange? Strange. If you were a criminal, what would you do with 5 minutes, Your Honor?
Well, I guess I'd flee the scene. Hey! Don't get the wrong idea, I didn't kill anyone.
But you have the instincts of a killer. You would run, but this time was different. This guy dawdled at the scene of the crime. She even had her pictures taken. Ah, right, I see you expanded your vocabulary. No true criminal will act this way. It is inconceivable. Yeah. Now we've got her.
Well then, it seems we've come to the end of this testimony. The witness has a grudge against the defendant and a blank in her testimony. Mr. Edgeworth, is the next witness ready to go?
Unfortunately, it appears to have overestimated this witness account. I appear to have overestimated this witness on account of her professional history. We did it! We screwed that case shut, Mr. Wright! That was so close.
I'm afraid that the cough-up queen has been dethroned, and with that, court is adjourned.
I guess Wright is now the cough-up king. Huh? Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels, right? That's the one she tried to foist off on me. I prefer not to take the defense team's leftovers. Anything else to say? Always a clever comeback, right? I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence.
Oh, what was that?
Is this another one of her trick lunchboxes?
My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask of you, Miss Starr.
Ah. This is your jumbo lunchbox?
Woohoo! A triple-decker! It's like a lunchbox sandwich! Out of deference to the witness's determination and her food, I will allow one more testimony. Let's hear about this decisive evidence.
Like the Lunchland motto says, you won't be disappointed. She's gonna pull out her lunchbox. What's she gonna pull out of her lunchbox this time? Alright, one more hurdle to overcome in this testimony. We can do it, right? We can do it. I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the scene of the crime. And now, to the matter of the victim's shoe. Did I not bring this up? 2 types of blood were found on the shoe. One was, of course, the victim's, and the other blood type matched that of the defendant, Miss Lana Skye. This shoe proves it. It's flawless, decisive evidence.
Interesting.
What? There was blood found in the shoe!
Try Lunchland for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs.
Witness, what's the meaning of this? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence?
Simple. As I've already said, I don't trust you with evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself.
And you had blood tests performed?
Didn't I mention? I have 3 boyfriends in forensics.
In any case, Your Honor, I can't accept this as evidence. What? You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule number 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. In other words, this shoe is illegal evidence, at least for the time being. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Edgeworth sure is celebrating.
Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Don't forget, I used to be a detective. As I mentioned previously, this shoe has already been tested by a member of the forensics department. As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today. Even the general public can produce official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth.
Shit, they're turning the tables on Edgeworth with the whole producing evidence out of thin air. Jesus. No, that's my trick. Is that right, Mr. Wright? Seems so. Edgeworth is looking pretty sullen. You could at least study some evidence law, really. Oh, shit, what did I do?
The prosecution's complaints notwithstanding, it appears this evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law. However, it seems you have yet another court against you, witness.
Anything to ensure that the guilty are properly judged.
Jesus.
Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness.
Alright, before we do this, I'll be right back. I need to get some water. Alright. I'm back. Does it, though? Can't let this evidence go through without a fight.
You ordered the peppered fish guts, right? Some like it hot, Mr. Wright. Some like your client. Seasoned enough hot water to make a whole vat of soup. Mr. Wright, do you or don't you have a problem with this shoe?
A problem? It's critical. Not yet. No, there's nothing there. If it's just a stab blindly at it, it'll hurt my case. Come on, Mr. Wright, I know you can find something. Kind of off-the-cuff contradiction. Trying to avoid saying things off the cuff today. It's pretty sly hiding evidence like that. There's nothing sly about a lawyer using the law as a weapon. In any case, science is always on our side. Don't forget, scientifically, investigation is the way of the future. Huh. Maybe we should investigate this evidence. Yeah, that's why I decided not to contradict her. I was like, oh shit, maybe I should examine the evidence first. Good thing. It looks like I'm on the same page as the game. Good. I thought it was good to know. Quit sniffing her fucking shoes and... Where?
This blood, it's my sister's, right?
It appears so. Lana's right hand was bandaged when I first saw her in jail. She must have cut herself at the time of the crime.
Poor sis.
Yeah, the blood's underneath. That's weird.
Ah, there's blood here too!
On the sole of the shoe, it's gotta be the victim's. He must have stepped in a puddle of his own blood.
All this blood, it's horrible.
Huh. This blood might be an important clue. If I'm not imagining things, I'd say there's one critical problem with this evidence. A clear contradiction.
That gleam in your eyes. You're still young, rookie. I'd give you a peppered fish gut now.
But you couldn't take the heat, could you?
Let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. What is contradictory about the victim's shoe? Show us this problem with the evidence.
Take that!
wonder if you noticed. There's blood on the bottom of the shoe.
Don't mess with me, rookie. Or it'll be your blood on the bottom of my shoe.
Indeed, there is quite a bit of blood on the bottom of the shoe.
That makes sense. The victim was stabbed with a knife. What could possibly be contradictory about the bottom of the sole of the shoe?
The fact that the knife had, like, jack shit. Thank you! Holy shit!
Like, I wasn't sure if that was just like, okay, we don't just want to make the entire thing covered in blood because that'll look boring. It looks cooler like this. No, thank you, Jesus Christ! We're on the same page, game! And Edgeworth is now on the same page, too. I'm guessing... Or, he isn't. I'm guessing your shoe has blood on it, too. You just shot yourself in the foot. Ah.
Would you like a grinder? Or a grind from the heel of my boot, Mr. Wright?
Man, tough crowd.
Right, let's be scientific about this. Examine the evidence.
Shit. Shit. Oh, picture maybe? Yeah, there it is. There's no pool of blood. The problem lies in the footprint.
The footprint?
Note that the bottom of the victim's shoe was covered in blood. Then, isn't it strange? Why weren't any bloody footprints found by the scene of the crime?
Aha!
As you can see, there's no traces of any such footprints at the scene of the crime. That contradicts your claim about the shoe. This picture only shows part of the floor, so there could have been bloody footprints. Then where are they, Mr. Edgeworth? Because we checked the scene of the crime and found nothing of the sort.
Order, order, order. Well, witness.
What? Great going, Mr. Wright, but it's true that the lack of footprints is a contradiction. But then we have to ask why there wasn't a footprint.
Oh, and that's true. There has to be a reason why there wasn't a footprint.
Think, Mr. Wright, think. I don't know why it's not there. I'm just good at finding contradictions. What? I see. Now I get it. Get what? Our witness is more devious than I gave her credit for. We were hoodwinked to the very end. But she slipped. There's one vital hint of the truth in her testimony.
Oh, what are you talking about?
Think back to when she told us about apprehending the suspect.
The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked her over an oil drum. Oh, she's beautiful, but deadly. A predator, this one, a leopard woman. Rawr!
I thought that was a strange thing for the normally cool-headed chief to do. No kidding. Now, witness, allow me to ask a very simple question. This oil drum, was it empty?
Oh, that. I'm not sure I like your attitude, Mr. Edgeworth. Though apparently you're not the slowest conveyor belt in the lunchbox factory.
Witness! Well, was the oil drum empty?
The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water.
Water? What does that mean? Still don't get it, Mr. Wright. Do you want to know the reason she knocked it over? The real reason?
Aha! You don't mean!
Yes, the suspect knocked over the oil drum for one reason and one reason alone. To erase the bloodstains that would become evidence against her.
What?
Ah, that ties things up rather nicely. The bloodstains left on the victim's shoe tie her quite clearly to this murder. Then, after the deed was done, she knocked over the oil drum to erase the telltale signs.
Why, that's a prosecutor's specialty, erasing evidence.
That reminds me, Miss Guy's right hand was hurt. Didn't she say she cut herself and you stabbed him? So, that's when my sister's blood got on the shoe?
Well, I see no reason to prolong this trial.
Mr. Wright, do something, please! What? What kind
I do. Your sister has confessed to the crime and she's trying to conceal it. But...
Enough. There is no need for further debate. The verdict, Your Honor.
Very well.
But Angel Star is on the prosecution's side. She could have been lying about the water.
This court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Sky.
You? Little girl, what did you just say? Huh? Me? Did you say that I, Angel Star, was on the prosecution's side? Oh, well, yeah, you are. You're saying my sister hid evidence by erasing the bloody footprints. Well, I thought you've had your fill, but here you are demanding a second helping. Another lunchbox. A lunchbox called evidence.
Oh, wait, witness. Don't tell me you have something else.
The time for deliberations has passed. Any further comments, and you will be held in contempt of court.
Your threats don't scare the cough-up queen. Look at this!
Jesus!
A photograph?
I had it just in case anyone had the gall to suggest that the white shoe didn't belong to the victim.
I see no room for error in this evidence.
Mr. Wright, wait! Look at the asphalt on this photo! Hey, it's clearly wet! Shit.
Erasing the last trace of doubt from the court's mind. Immediately after the murder, and the crime scene was washed with water.
I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I guess I couldn't help after all. It's not your fault. I knew I couldn't win this case from the beginning. And seems this is what your sister wanted anyway. I'm sorry, Mia. Right, wet or not, don't be so quick to throw in the towel. Huh? Get yourself up, off the asphalt. Take another good look. Don't give up. Not until the bitter end. This is the last piece of evidence.
Very well. This time I'd like to clear a verdict for good.
Objection!
Your Honor, wait.
What is it with you people? Can't I hand down my verdicts in peace anymore? Whatever it is, can it wait?
No, it can't! Then it'll be too late! Look at this photograph. The last one submitted. This trial isn't over until we give each piece of evidence proper consideration.
So, right. Are you saying there's a problem with this latest piece of evidence?
Yeah. I'll think later.
Yeah, there's a problem. Right or wrong, I've got to go ahead with this.
I suppose as we've come this far, we should give every claim a fair shake. Very well, Mr. Wright. Show the court the problem with this photograph.
Okay. Let's think.
Oh, weird! What's that in the exhaust pipe? Oh, she was talking something about an exhaust, wasn't she? The problem in this photograph is here.
What's this?
There's something poking out of the car's muffler.
Wait just a moment, Mr. Edgeworth.
Your Honor.
You just said muffler. However, I see no trace of a muffler or scarf of any kind in this photograph.
A muffler is also part of a car or motorcycle, Your Honor. Just think of it as part of the exhaust system, a pipe.
I see, and I see! What's that suspicious-looking cloth sticking out of the car's muffler?
Huh, so what if there's something sticking out of the muffler? What does that have to do with the case? Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Objection!
Sorry, Miss Starr, but it's not going to be that easy. In fact, you've already told us why it's important to the case. You said as much in your testimony. What?
Let's hear what Mr. Wright has on his mind. Tell us why you think this piece of cloth and the muffler is related to the case. Miss Starr, recall your testimony for the court.
Ah, yes. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what she had me confused in her earlier testimony. Muffler.
Ah, yeah! Could it be that the muffler you heard mentioned was actually this exhaust pipe? If so, that means this piece of cloth is vital evidence.
Oh, wah, wah.
Well, it seems we'll have to suspend the proceedings.
Suspend?
I find myself wondering about that piece of cloth. If we leave any questions unanswered here, we do a disservice to the law. Have the car at the scene inspected at once and bring me that cloth. The verdict will wait until after we've seen all the evidence. Agreed?
I suppose so. Whew! That was close. But we made it. At least for now.
This court will adjourn for a 30-minute recess. It's lunchtime after all.
He's still hungry?
To be continued.
Okay, so that's what I meant by trial former. Right. So... yeah, now we're going to trial ladder. Okay, so that's interesting. This day's trial had 2 parts to it. That's interesting. I feel about that. Anyways, yeah, very interesting, very interesting indeed. Honestly, I have absolutely no fucking clue what is going on anymore. Every single sentence that is spoken in this case, and we stray further from the truth. Like, what the fuck is happening here? I have no idea. Hopefully, I'll be able to glean some of that deeper subtext while I'm editing this video. But until then, I'm fucking clueless. So yes, that's gonna be it for this episode of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. Thanks you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. By the way, if you'd like to chat and hang out with us, we're streaming Persona 4 Golden, usually on Sundays, so you can come hang out then, or you can join our Discord down in the description. We're always on there. So yeah. Fuck!